Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. It is update day here in Warzone and Black Ops 6. We knew today was a scheduled update because we have the whole COD Tunes event dropping with some content that we'll be breaking down here in just a moment. But surprisingly enough, we also saw some new patch notes drop for Warzone late last night with some pretty impactful meta updates and some other changes as well. But in general today, we actually have quite a bit to break down, starting first with an interesting update for the Call of Duty HQ. You may recall we talked about this a little while back as they were starting to seemingly push out other games from the Call of Duty HQ and separate them, which could be good for the general stability of games as we see more updates go out. Obviously, typically large updates have large issues in Call of Duty, and a lot of the COD HQ is to blame for that. But PlayStation Game Size ended up posting this overnight saying that Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 now have new update packs for the campaign, for Warzone, for just general MW2, and then multiplayer as well. So if you're playing these games, you'll notice there should be some new downloads coming up for these that should be separating them out of the Call of Duty HQ, which is pretty interesting. I'm very curious to see what happens with the HQ going forward if they're starting to now go through and separate out some of the older games. Is that going to happen right when Black Ops 7 launches? Are they going to take Black Ops 6 out of it? Time's going to tell here, but certainly something we got to keep our eye on. Another new thing that's going on in Call of Duty right now, I've seen a couple of you comment about this, but they actually are doing age verification on accounts now. So when you boot up the game at random, you may see this actually pop up. Charlie Intel reports saying Call of Duty now requires players to add their birthday to their account. If you're underage, parental consent required pop-up appears with info on how to continue to play. Activision's statement says, in accordance with our efforts to deliver a positive community experience as detailed in the Call of Duty Code of Conduct, Activision players are being asked to provide updated information to their accounts. So you'll notice that if you boot up, you'll see something like this: account information required. You have to go through, enter your date of birth, and if you're under a certain age, it'll say parental consent required, and you'll have to go through and do this whole scan thing going on there. So that is a new pop-up you may see when you boot up the game. Now, as mentioned, we also have some new patch notes to break down on the official patch notes page, but also the COD Updates Twitter account has posted a few other things in the meantime that I wanted to cover for you guys as well. Convenient timing with this. Back on Monday, we always do our weekly preview videos on Monday talking about some things that have changed over the weekend, things to look out for in the Trello and with upcoming updates throughout the week, right? And in that video, I specifically mentioned, hey, there's this issue going on in game right now where players are getting stuck on the loading screen. Call of Duty hasn't addressed this. Literally like an hour after I posted that video, COD Updates post this. For Black Ops 6 and Warzone, we are investigating reports that some players can get stuck on the loading message of the day screen. So they are fully looking into that. They've got a fix scheduled for that. So that issue should be getting combated here very soon. And then another tweet that they posted yesterday evening saying, for Warzone, we are investigating an issue causing loadout prices to be different at buy stations in resurgence modes. So if you notice some varying prices there as you're going to buy your loadout, they're aware of that. That'll be updated as well. And then we've got our actual Wednesday, July 16th update. Like I said, these patch notes dropped later last night, completely out of the blue, that have some interesting changes that actually will impact the meta amongst other things as well. As we do go through all the patch notes here, then get into what changed with today's new content update. If you guys enjoy the video, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. Really does help grow the channel. And if you're new here, you want to guarantee that every single day you're up to date with everything going on in COD, whether it's news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns. I got you covered with all of that. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and help get us one step closer to hitting 1 million. But as for the Wednesday 16th updates, for ranked play in Resurgence, they fixed an issue where portable buy stations could drop from legendary crates. Those are now currently restricted, or correctly restricted rather, so you won't be finding any portable buys anywhere in ranked Resurgence any longer. Then we get our weapon updates. First up, they hit the DM10 again. I mean, they already nerfed this last week and it pretty much knocked it out of being a truly, top tier contender. It was still all right, but it wasn't anything broken like what it was before. They decided to just completely kill it here, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of surprised that they did this. They've been pretty strong about their stance, saying, hey, when we nerf things, we don't want to take them completely out of the equation. They just did that with the DM10. Like, there's no real reason to use this at all anymore because they nerfed the damage and the range everywhere. And the TR2, we obviously know, was the replacement to the DM10, even though it was better than the DM10 pre-nerf. The TR2, everyone switched over to that because it was the new best DMR style gun, and they killed the damage here as well. The range is still infinite. It doesn't drop off, but the damage is much, much worse. And again, the TTK here just no longer makes it a true contender. It is usable mainly in like the long range, but there's also just way better choices there. MCW 6.8, the Goblin, we've talked about some of those recently. So again, kind of unfortunate. We had a really dominant gun. It was probably maybe a little bit too strong, but they just completely killed it here. In addition to the damage nerfs, they also nerfed the velocity, the ADS speed, and the sprint to fire speed. So this thing's gonna feel drastically different now post update. So DM10 TR2 kind of no longer mainstays in the meta, if you will. We also have a couple of bug fixes to break down here as well. Here, they fixed an issue where kills in the pre-match lobby were incorrectly counted towards a player's total kills on the stats page. So you could boost your KD a little bit, inflate the ego a tad bit. They did counter that, so you won't be able to cheese that any longer. Fixed an issue that prevented players from exiting the ranked play playlist lobby after joining. An issue causing an error when editing attachments on a custom class during a match. An issue in Plunder where attack choppers would not engage players in overtime. I'm sure players were actually pretty thrilled by that not being a thing where you have the attack chopper audio just bearing down on you constantly. It's insanely loud for no reason. They fixed another issue in Plunder where cash picked up during overtime was not being doubled as intended, so you were gonna have to work extra hard in OT there. Then also fixed an exploit that allowed spy cameras to be used in ranked play resurgence and ranked play battle royale. Spy cameras are now correctly restricted in these modes, so you won't be able to cheese those anymore either. So some interesting surprise patch notes here, particularly in regards to the long range meta, which is now DMR less, if you will, with those two nerfs there. Like I said, though, we also have a new update live today that includes some new content and some pretty interesting rewards. And what do you know, as I was just getting ready to hop on to record the COD tunes part of this with the event update, COD Updates actually just fixed an issue we talked about earlier with the issue where loadout prices were different at different buy stations. For Warzone, new updates now out. This issue has been resolved. Loadout prices at buy stations have been adjusted accordingly. So today, as you can see when you jump onto the events tab, we now have the COD Tunes event, and this is going to be live for the next 20 days. So 3 weeks basically with this event. So this will be going for quite some time alongside Beavis and Butthead, of course, which is still going on as well. King of the Dead just came to a close. But with COD Tunes, with this, we've actually got some interesting rewards, including a new aftermarket part or ammo mod and some universal camos finally at long last. As you can see, for this, you got to complete challenges, unlock rewards. You also have the completion camo. So for this, it is individual challenges for each different mode and each different reward. So multiplayer, zombies, Warzone each have their own things here. For instance, our first one here in multiplayer for this new spray is to get 15 kills with a frag or a semtex. In zombies, extract 150,000 total essence when exfilling, and in Warzone, complete a search and destroy contract 10 times. For this large decal, and then also some gobblegum stuff in multiplayer, play 25 matches at the COD Tunes Mosh Pit. In zombies, get 450 kills with melee weapons. Then in Warzone, deploy a care package 15 times. For a new loading screen in multiplayer, get 15 kills with combat axes in the COD Tunes Mosh Pit. In zombies, reach round 23 times, and in Warzone, open 10 loot caches at the Overlook. For a double XP token in multiplayer, get top 3 in a party ops match. In zombies, get 30 kills with the Shatter Blast ammo mod equipped, and in Warzone, get 3 kills with the hand cannon kill streak. For a new calling card in multiplayer, earn the most score in a party ops match 3 different times. In zombies, get a 20 zombie multi-kill, so kill 20 zombies in a quick succession with a rocket launcher 15 times. And then in Warzone, play 3 matches of Warzone Havoc. For the new TR2 CQB conversion aftermarket part, and then also a new weapon charm as well. For this, you need to get top 3 in a match 5 times in multiplayer. In zombies, get 30 kills while Frenzied Guard is active, and in Warzone, fly through the Overlook's upper sky deck, presumably with a helicopter there. And then the last individual challenge here for a new weapon blueprint in multiplayer, win 5 matches in the COD Tunes Mosh Pit. In zombies, win 3 matches of Grief, and then in Warzone, get 15 vehicle kills. If you do all of those, you'll end up getting this brand new Mastery camo here, which is the Speedlines camo. It is an animated camo, which looks pretty cool for what it's worth. And then also, if you have Black Cell for the season, you can get a secondary Speedlines camo as well, which is just the Black Cell variant. So 2 universal camos that actually look pretty cool. And of course, a brand new aftermarket part that you can rock as well on the TR2, which they did just nerf, to be fair as well, which is kind of strange. But that being said, that is effectively everything that ended up getting updated or changed in today's new update across Warzone and BO6. That's going to wrap things up. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop a like. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications so you can stay up to date with everything going on in COD. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.